Here we go again to Prenton Park South.
Towards James Vaughan.
James Vaughan?
It is James Vaughan. Can he completely turn the game on its head here? Vaughan with a shot. Vaughan Nelson will shake this one. In it goes. He's onside there. Stefan Payne. Payne's onside and Payne scores.
Oh, and here's a chance for Wembley, and it's an equaliser. Wonderful ball out to Kieran Morris, who gets back into the box. Morris with the shot. Oh, what a goal from Kieran Morris. That's a good save by Murphy. And it's saved again. Another poor penalty. Joe Murphy again with the save. Steps up. And saved again, Joe Murphy. I tell you what.
Hangs one in towards Ferry, who chests it down for Lloyd. Great goal. Ready, can he make it four? Of course he can. Now Ferry has wrestled the right side of the man. Ferrier and Morgan Ferrier gets another chance to run at the man and hangs across up, and Rovers are straight back in front. Ferrier doesn't find him, but Ferrier then puts a cross in, and he does find Lloyd this time. Taylor's made a great run. Here is Blackett-Taylor, and Blackett-Taylor makes it 4-1. Lloyd is available. Woolery goes alone, and that's a fabulous strike by Kane Woolery. He hit it and some. Goes towards the Paul Lewis area, and it's fell nicely for Kieran Morris. And Kieran Morris on the half volley has half turned and half sent Rovers through to the final.
Hello, thanks for clicking onto the Tranmere Rovers Football Club YouTube channel. And with the countdown running to Sunday's EFL Trophy Final, the Papa John's Trophy Final, over the next 45 minutes, we're going to hear from a host of people who have played their part in the celebrated and distinguished history of the club. Tranmere Rovers and Sunderland will play for the trophy, and whether they're on the Wirral, on Wearside, or wherever in the world, in spirit, the fans of both clubs will be inside Wembley Stadium despite the pandemic restrictions. We've just seen some of the goals that have helped Tranmere secure a place in what will be a fourth Wembley final in 5 seasons. That's a remarkable record. But Tranmere Rovers is a remarkable football club. And let's kick off by hearing from club chairman Mark Pallius, who's been talking to Jonathan Swift.
Mark, thank you very much for joining me. We've got Wembley coming up in a couple of days' time. It's an excellent opportunity for the club in 4 years out of 5 that we've reached the grand stage at the home of English football.
Yeah, no, I think it's a bit of payback for the fans. I think the thing I've said I love is when I saw somebody had tweeted, a father had tweeted that his young son had said, "Dad, what time do we normally set out for Wembley?" You know, and for me that's great, because there's a bit of payback for the fans. I mean, the demotion last season, being voted out of League One, was unfair and unjust, and this is because the fans have stuck together, because we've all kept looking at what we need to do and living well. We are living well. So another trip to Wembley. Real pity we can't have any fans there, but it is a fact that we've got a pandemic, so we just have to accept that and make the most of the day, which I'm sure the lads will.
It's such a shame, isn't it, that the supporters can't be there. They've gone down in the thousands. It seems like a common theme that Tranmere Rovers are playing at Prenton Park South. It is such a shame that they're not going to be there, but that it's a one club together, this, isn't it, even though they won't be there in the terraces at Wembley.
Yeah, and I think that if you're looking back over the pandemic, and it's been a terrible time for everybody in all businesses and so forth, I think one of the strong things that's come through the club is what we've tried to build here at the club, and that's a oneness, so everybody's in it together, and you're seeing that now. People are buying virtual tickets, which will go not to the club particularly, but it'll go to, for example, helping the disabled supporters getting access next season, etc. So, for me, it's not all lost. We won't have the fans there, which would be massively disappointing, and honestly will detract a little bit from the day. But let's see where we go, and let's see if we can bring something back.
The Papa John's Trophy has provided an excellent competition for Keith to use his squad and utilise that. It is a brilliant competition, isn't it, for the club to go on and compete, and Sunderland is a great opponent to face in that final.
Yeah, I can thoroughly understand, because I'm a massive fan of the pyramid. I can thoroughly understand why fans don't like the idea of under-21 teams playing in this, and also with the track record of the game itself, that people have sold the long term for the short term. So there's a lack of trust in that. But believe me, myself and probably a lot of other owners are pretty much determined not to see B teams or under-21 teams start to invade the pyramid in the way that was suggested when Greg Dyke went to the FA. I told him it was one of the worst ideas he's ever had. So I think that they should relax on that. The fact of the matter is we have to be in it. So we're in it. So we can't avoid it. So if we're in it, we make a job of it. And I wish the fans would see that and actually come and support us, because it does provide a source of revenue, and now it's providing a source of excitement and pride. And actually, it also gives Keith and the staff the ability to give players game time when otherwise they may sit out there in the cold and therefore not be quite ready to come back in when they're called back into the first team. And that's one of the things that's absolutely useful at this point in time, that we have players who all can step in and not really weaken the team. And part and parcel of that was giving lads the chance to play in what was became a fairly competitive competition as soon as we were sort of playing League One clubs.
We are playing a League One club on the Sunday against Sunderlnad, massive team that were in the Premier League not so long ago. It's fantastic, isn't it, to see the journey Tranmere Rovers has been on to be competing against the team that with the stature and the fan base of Sunderland Football Club.
Yeah, we got a glimpse of that when we went back into League One, and I think that everybody got the taste once again for going to places like Ipswich and and Portsmouth and Sunderland, etc. So that's where our season this year we're aiming to try and get back into that part of the pyramid that I think we at least deserve at this club. I don't mean that we deserve anything by right. I think we deserve it at this club because of the efforts of all the people that I've seen over the last 6 or 7 years we've been here that have been put into the place. And of course, I always say that people who are owners of football clubs and people who are working in football clubs stand on the shoulders of giants, because this club goes back to 1884, and the efforts of people since that time towards the ethic of the club has been tremendous and gets the club to where it is. And we're just the current custodians, but it's great that in our period here we've had 4 trips to Wembley, we've had 2 promotions, we've had a relegation which was unavoidable almost in the first season, and we had we've been voted out, which we'll see.
This competition, presents that chance, like as I've said, to go to Wembley. But even though we've been to the playoff finals at Wembley recently, this club has a rich tradition of reaching cup finals. We've won this competition in the early 90s, and the fact that we played at Wembley in the League Cup final in 2000. So Wembley is deep into our core, isn't it?
I think in the fans, yes, since the late 80s and early 90s, I think since those days has bred in those fans something that it's nice to see. The younger fans today are getting to, so they'll remember the trips to Wembley from 18, 19, 17, 18, 19 and 21. We try and forget 17.
And talking about matters on the pitch, this is a nice distraction from the league action. We've still got a lot of cup finals coming after this Sunderland match, with a lot of league games remaining. But it's a great chance to kind of relax and enjoy this game, isn't it? And that'll be the message to the supporters, is just to enjoy the occasion and cheer the team on back home here in the world.
Yeah, I think we want to win it.
And as the club prepares for another landmark occasion, it's worth marking the immense contribution of co-owners Mark and Nicola Pallius. It is immeasurable. In more than challenging circumstances, they've steered the club through several storms. This season's EFL Trophy got underway early last September. The group stage saw a penalty shootout defeat away at Port Vale, a 3-2 Prenton Park win against Liverpool's under-21 team, and a penalty shootout win at home to Wigan that secured the place in the knockout stage. Manchester City's under-21 team were beaten 2-1. There was a 4-2 win over Leicester City's under-21 team. That was followed by a 2-1 quarter-final win over Peterborough United and a terrific semi-final victory away at League One Oxford United. That secured yet another Wembley final. Danny Lloyd has scored 4 goals on this latest route to Wembley, and Danny's been talking to Rob McNee.
it's been a really good foundation for me to build on and, you know, break into the league side, and which I've done, and, you know, prove myself that I can, you know, play for the club in the league, and, you know, be a consistent part of the team, which is what I wanted to do when I come here. I wouldn't have been able to do that without this competition. So, you know, I'm you know, a big believer in the competition. You know, it allows lads to, you know, get some minutes, gain some experience. I think it's, you know, a definite plus in the calendar.
And if you do get to play, how much will that mean for yourself to go out of the home of English football? It's
a dream come true, innit? You know, lads, when you're growing up, you dream of playing at Wembley, you know, dream of playing in cup finals, and that's what it is. It's a, you know, it's a domestic cup final for teams at our level, and it's a big chance to go and, you know, show what we're about against a, you know, a very good Sunderland side. I'm sure we will give a very good account of ourselves.
And although they can't be there, the fans are already in the numbers donated a lot of money to charity for the virtual tickets for what they would have spent for going to the game. So it's great to see, isn't it, the fans still chipping in even now, especially during these hard times, even though they can't be there.
Unbelievable. You know, expect nothing less from Tranmere fans. They're a really good bunch. They follow the team, you know, home and away unbelievably. You know, and hopefully we get them back in before the end of the season. We get to play in front of them again. You know, give them a little send off for the summer. It'll be a big moment in everyone's career to lift a cup at Wembley. It's stuff that dreams are made of. So, you know, hopefully, you know, if selected, I'll be giving it 100% as usual, and hopefully we come out on top.
So Sunday we'll see another Wembley final for Tranmere. It's another great achievement, and it sits alongside the club's efforts to reclaim a place in League One. And 3 days after Sunday's final, it'll be back to the promotion push with a League Two away game at Grimsby Town. A match pass to watch the game is available via iFollow for £10. It was last November that Keith Hill brought his vast experience to Prenton Park to lead the challenge for promotion. And he'll lead the team out at Wembley. Let's hear from the Tranmere Rovers manager, who's been talking to Rob.
It's been a great competition because it's given us the opportunity to create a winning stimulus for the players who haven't been playing on a regular basis. So we know that they're game ready, you know, but we are getting we've got to the final. So we're in the final, so we have to, like we have in the other games that we've played, previous rounds, you know, come up with a winning formula against an excellent League One side.
Just on Sunderland, what are you expecting from them? Sure, it'll be a really tough test.
It's a tough test, but it's one we've earned. We've earned the right to play at Wembley. We've earned the right to play against Sunderland. Tough test, but it will equally so be tough for Sunderland as well. We're well represented squad-wise with player ability, but our DNA, our characteristics, they're strong, and they've proven to be strong against Peterborough, again from League One, and obviously Oxford in the semi-final. So if that's the standard that we have to meet and match to be successful against Sunderland, then we've got to at least get to that standard, and I'm sure we can do.
I've spoken to a few of the players recently in interviews, and they've said that if they want to be playing at that standard next season, they're going to have to be competing against teams like that every week. So pretty much sums it up quite well, doesn't it?
Well, the difference is we've played League One sides in the cup competition, so they're in isolation. Sustainability is about the 46 game. You know, we want to get into a position where we're challenging week after week after week in League One. You know, it's brilliant that we're in the cup competition to see how good we can be, but then you need consistency. You know, when you're pitting your wits in a league, it's about consistent performances, and you know, we've had that in the cup competition and we're getting it in the league, so we're in good form, we're very confident, but the DNA of the team is hard work, intensity, in and out of possession, trying to control. So it won't be any different at Wembley. My team selection will represent previous rounds and the players who are doing well at this moment in time.
Keith Hill is building a great dynamic within his squad, and on and off the pitch there's a great desire to win, whatever the challenge set. And that includes a memory game about this season's Papa John's Trophy campaign.
First one, who wants to go first and take an turn to his first?
Youngest.
I'll put rock paper. 1, 2, 3 show.
Yeah, right.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Yes, go.
Nice. Trophy.
Peterborough. Man City.
Leicester under 21s.
Wigan.
That's 5. That's 5. That's about 3 seconds. That's about 3 seconds. That wasn't 5 seconds. That.
Wigan.
That's 5. He just screamed before he even get anything out.
Because I knew I had nothing next.
He just screamed.
Woolery.
Danny Lloyd.
I don't know, you know. Not me.
4, 5.
I've admitted defeat there.
I'd say Paul Lewis.
Yeah, there was James Vaughan. Oh yeah, this is including players that don't play for us anymore as well. So James Vaughan, Stephen
Payne.
Woolery, Morris, Banks, Lloyd, Ferrier, Blackett, Taylor, Lewis.
Well,
I'm not even looking up that far up the pitch, so.
That was me. 1-1. Pineapple.
Chicken.
Mushrooms.
Jalapenos.
Onion.
Ham.
Cheese.
Cheese! Extra cheese. Option. I reckon that's an option.
Pepperoni.
It is, isn't it?
Pepperoni, yeah?
Yeah.
Tomato base. Barbecue base, tomato base.
You can't have that. You can't have that.
No.
That's got to be me.
Okay.
Yes, 2-1.
So you've got to add tomatoes. Call me about tomatoes.
Tomato base.
I've seen a lot of different bases. Garlic base. Barbecue base. I hate barbecue base, mate. Jay Spearing.
Joe Murphy.
George Ray.
Rides.
Stephen Payne.
Fiends.
Sid.
Kieran.
Mark Ellis.
Lloydie.
Banks.
Manny.
Scotty Davis.
Lee O'Connor.
Callum McDonald. I forgot his name.
Morgan.
Corey.
Yeah.
Naya.
Have we had rides?
Yeah.
Yeah. Game over.
Get me off this mic. What was that then? 3-1?
3-1.
On we go. 4 Wembley finals in 5 seasons is a remarkable record. League One Sunderland will start favourites, but Tranmere have experience of finding a winning formula even when the odds are stacked against them. The 2018 National League playoff final against Boreham Wood was truly a remarkable victory. The situation was tense in the 2019 final against Newport County. And to reflect on those occasions, we can hear from 3 figures who have engraved their names in the club's history.
Well, Mickey, welcome to the show. Great to see you. Great to hear you again. Hope you're doing well north of the border. But since you've gone, Tranmere, yet again, for the 4th time in just under 4 years, are back at Prenton Park South, Wembley Stadium.
It's fantastic. I mean, I'm absolutely delighted for everybody at the football club, Keith and all his players and the fans, and Mark and Nicola. It's terrific, and all you guys as well. It's fantastic, especially after the way that last season finished. It was it's terrific that the club's got what it deserves in another Wembley finish, another Wembley visit, and hopefully a good finish to the season and put back to where they should be.
And even more special with the way last season ended with our demotion as well. So to go a full year with hardly any fans being able to attend football, or the motion?
I mean, I felt as bad as your shot when that moment came. But like I said at the time, and I've said since, Tranmere will be back. It's got too much spirit, too much desire about it. The area drives the football club on. The people drive the football club on. And it pushes the players and it pushes the manager. And that's the kind of success that you can get when you have that kind of energy. So I'm delighted that it's happened, but not surprised. And I hope it goes from strength to strength. Because I sit here as a supporter myself, and I'm not trying to be cheesy about that. Everybody knows how fond I am of Tranmere, especially the connections that I have there. So I'm delighted that it's going so well. But certainly from everybody from Dundee United, we wish Tranmere Rovers every success in the cup final and for the rest of the season. And we'll be watching closely. And we wish him nothing but the best. And hopefully I can get down soon to come and see you all, get in your beer tent and be able to join in and not have to be there in a professional capacity and come down and enjoy your company like I always have done.
Forest Green, not your first playoff final, but I'm right in saying your first time at Wembley for a playoff final?
No, it was my first playoff final, yeah. All the other times that I played, you know, I'd been fortunate enough to win the league with the likes of Luton and Fleetwood out the conference.
Did you not do the playoffs with Barrow?
That went in the conference, though. That was in the Conference North we come through yet. So obviously I played in a playoff final.
The first time at Wembley?
First time at Wembley, first time in the playoffs in the conference, yeah.
Was there an air of excitement? I mean, you always come across as a no-nonsense player. It wouldn't matter if it was a park field or a national stadium. It's still a team in front of you. But was there an air of excitement playing at the National Stadium?
Yeah, because obviously it was the first time I'd ever played there, and first time I'd ever been there, to be honest with you. I'd never been there to watch a game either, so it was, you know, it was exciting, but you just can't let that, you know, get the better of you. You know, you're going there on the day, you know, to try and do a job and, you know, and get Tranmere Rovers promoted.
Boreham Wood, but this time it felt a little different, certainly from where I was. Forest Green, everyone had smiles on their face. It was a sunny day at Wembley. This time it seemed there was an air of concentration etched on every player's face. I certainly noticed that in the build-up to Wembley, doing the interviews with players, there was a focus.
Yeah, I think that comes with experience, doesn't it? You know, there's a lot of us that had never played at Wembley before, and, you know, as a group we got together. You know, the manager went in the meeting, but, you know, we had a meeting and said that we didn't want to come back on the bus, you know, feeling the way we did the year before. So we were determined, and, you know, we knew that, you know, we weren't going there just to make the numbers up and enjoy ourselves. We had to go there and do a job, and we had to get the job finished this time. We just went in, you know, obviously it was a bit of a body blow because we've gone ahead, and then you're thinking to yourself on the pitch, you know, we're trying to get the message out to all the players, you know, let's just get through the first half, we'll go in 1-0 and then we'll sit down and we'll regroup and stuff like that. So, you know, it was a body blow to go in. You know, they scored right before half time, and, you know, we just went in and we had to just keep everyone calm. You know, Mickey, you know, he had a game plan. You know, we were going to sit back, and, you know, we had pace up front with, you know, with James, and, you know, we had Cookie up there, we had Connor Jennings and stuff like that. So we always knew that we could get a chance if we kept the door shut, you know, at the other end, and, you know, lucky enough that's what we done, and, you know, that was the game plan. Yeah, I think all I've done for about 4 or 5 weeks was drink. You know, I think your career's so short, and, you know, if you're fortunate enough, you know, you don't really get many days like that. So, you know, when they do come along, you've just got to forget everything and, you know, enjoy them for the moment, and, you know, enjoy what you've done. And, you know, I think as a group of players, we did go and do that.
Looking back on your time at Rovers, did it fill you with smiles when you look back?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm not one to, you know, sit about and, you know, live in the past and, you know, start talking to them about people and that. But, you know, they're things that will live with me forever, and the things that no one can ever take away from you.
Ultimately, not the result we wanted. Once again, the Bridesmaid the next season, second this time to Macclesfield. There was almost a sense of determination this year. I mean, the Forest Green the year before felt like, I don't want to say a day out because it means you're not treating it right, but there was smiles on people's faces, where this time I think there was a concentration etched on everyone's face, and the fact that the job had to be done.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Remember rightly, we didn't start well that season. Maybe a bit of a hangover from the final.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just remember something just clicking. and that's with the fans as well, the community side of it. Everything just clicked, and there was such a massive buzz around the place, and it was such a good feeling.
Obviously a twist of circumstances meant Mickey gets you off the bench.
Yeah.
What does he say to you? Half an hour into a final 1-0 with 10 men, what does Mickey say when he's bringing you off?
I don't think he said it. I think he just looked at me, and I'm sure I looked behind. I was like, surely not me. And yeah, so gave me the look. I think it's around 30 minutes, 33 minutes. Got the nod, and yeah, down to work. Obviously, it was a tough game, mentally and physically. But just showed you just the character we had, and that we had the fans. We had the fans there who just took us over the line. There was a lot on the line at the time, you know, with the club. I remember jobs on the line, you know, if we don't go up that year. So it, you know, there's a lot of pressure on us, especially, you know, all respect to Bournemouth, you know, the size of Tranmere, you know, the expectations are there. So yeah, just such a big relief, and yeah, really good moment.
You make your way into the penalty area. Buxton, Pringle and Caprice have got the ball on the right hand side. Caprice is about to deliver probably the best moments of quality in the game,
yeah,
to be fair, in terms of ball into the box. You could see it coming.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Get anything on it, get something on it.
Yeah, obviously just head it down, and yeah, I always remember Bucko, the Bucko chop. I knew that was coming. Back to Prings to Caprice, and then he put a really good ball in, and it was just getting connection on the ball, heading it down, and luckily it went in.
We salute Steve McNulty, Connor Jennings and Mickey Mellon, who alongside many others played their part in those momentous finals. And extended interviews with all three of those Tranmere heroes are available on the club's website. Time to rewind over 2 decades to remember another Wembley final the club played in. But sad to say, the 2000 League Cup final ended in defeat to Leicester City. Someone who played for Tranmere on that day is in the squad for Sunday's game with Sunderland. It's goalkeeper Joe Murphy, and he's been talking to Rob.
Joe, first of all, you've been a regular starter in this competition this year. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it's always nice to get on the pitch. You know, I came here to play football. Every player wants to be on the pitch, you know, week in, week out. But you know, Scotty's been excellent. So whenever I've got the chance to play, I've enjoyed it. And yeah, it's been a good competition for the club so far. And you know, to do what we've done is great. So hopefully we can see it over the line now.
And without trying to make you feel too old, 21 years after that cup final against Leicester, how does it feel to now be back at Wembley?
Yeah, it's always great to play at Wembley, and I know it's a different competition, but with the same club, I suppose it's yeah, it's great. I was always wanting to come back to this club. You know, a club that I've said it before in my interview when I signed last year. You know, a club that, you know, I owe a lot to, because I think without the 5 years I had here, I wouldn't be playing to this day. You know, it was great grounding and great support, great management, great crowd. You know, so to give something back again is great. Although the fans can't be there, which is disappointing, but hopefully it will be our only trip to Wembley this year. But yeah, looking forward to it. Listen, there's some young lads in the squad there that haven't been there, been lucky enough to. It was the old Wembley back then, but lucky enough to play in the new one a couple of times as well. So great for the club to go back to its second home.
I think everyone knows the main aim is promotion for the team this season, but in terms of the cup, how much would that mean for you personally?
Yeah, listen, you know, I'm nearly 40 years old now, and it'd be great. You know, it's been great to be involved. You know, whether I'm on the pitch or not. Next Sunday is you know, another thing that's down to the manager, but yeah, listen, it's always nice to do well in cup competitions. I think it does, you know, if you bring a good cup competition, you can roll off your league form onto that as well. Sometimes it goes the other way, but I think we've done excellent. We've fitted them games in really well with the run of league games we've had. So yeah, hopefully we can go down there, get the win, and that'll be the only trip to Wembley this year, hopefully.
That League Cup final was over 2 decades ago. Over 3 decades ago, the club not only played in the then equivalent of the EFL Trophy final, they won the Leyland Daft Cup final. Ian Muir and Jim Steele were the goal scorers in a 2-1 win over Bristol Rovers. Dave Higgins was a central figure in that Tranmere squad. Now, Dave ran through plenty of brick walls to the club, and he didn't stop if there was an opponent in the way on the other side. He's been talking to Phil Wilkinson.
I mean, we were playing against teams, Birmingham the week on the Saturday or the Sunday. We got beaten in Leyland Daft, and then a week later we were playing Bolton, who were the favourites to go up, to be fair. They had a real good team. Again, we'd been on the pitch. We knew what it was like. We thought it didn't get us tired because we thought, well, this pitch ain't as big as ours. It's not like yards and yards bigger. I think that's what's in your mind sometimes at Wembley. You're in all of the stadium, all of the sorts of supporters, but when you're actually on the pitch, you're just playing on a pitch which is a couple of yards bigger, which didn't make much difference to us, and we matched 90 minutes. Bolton 0-0 went to extra time.
Well, that's strange because the week before, obviously, you mentioned the Wimbledon game, but the Birmingham game. But even everybody going down there, they weren't bothered because everybody was focused on the week after. I think
it was, but you know what? It's good that again. It's about momentum. If you can win any game, the next game makes it easy because your confidence is high. We were sort of so disappointed losing the Leyland Daft Cup. Obviously, you want to make up for it, and I think that's what drove us on.
And you mentioned that as a player, even being the underdogs against Bolton, to a certain extent, Rovers will be the underdogs against Sunderland when they play them.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't read anything into being underdogs, certainly with the way they're playing at the moment.
No, I mean, Sunderland have got the money, they've got the status, they've got fantastic supporters. But in a one-off game, 9 or 8 times out of 10 they should beat us. But this is a one-off game at Wembley, and everyone will be focused on that.
And Rovers have knocked out lots of teams from higher divisions. Yeah. You look at the experience in the squad and the players. Is it easier to play against the team from a higher division on that basis, A, being underdogs, but B, do they give you more time?
Well, they give you more time, but they're better quality, so they can hear you. You know, any mistakes you make, the ball normally ends up in the back of the net. But, you know, we have got players who have played at a high standard in our team at the moment, and they're playing really well. And we really have got it between our teeth at the moment. We're high in the league. We could possibly go top today, you know, if the results go right. And what an amazing achievement it would be to win against Sunderland, who are a powerful team.
On that note, you're sounding confident.
Oh, I am. You've got to. I mean, I've watched every home game here. Some of the away results in the last few weeks have been phenomenal. Hasn't it? 3 goals away, you know, winning 3-1s, sort of clean sheets at home. We've got nothing to lose against Sunderland. That's the way I look at it. They're expected to win. They're the favourites. We've got everything to gain, and I think we can go out and give them a real good game, and hopefully we can bring that cup home.
That was Dave Higgins, who gave great service to the club. A quick reminder now about the great work the football club is doing to help the local community. And the virtual ticket campaign is a fantastic example. Via the official charity, Tranmere Rovers and the community, it does a terrific job on a daily basis. Throughout the pandemic, it's provided tens of thousands of meals via food parcels. It's run programmes to combat loneliness and social isolation during the lockdown. It's supported dementia groups and parents who are homeschooling. To donate to the campaign, please visit the crowdfunder page. The link to access that is via www.tranmererovers.co.uk. And here's a video now filmed by Sky Sports News that showed the great impact the charity has made during the COVID-19 pandemic.
We have another gift for you.
Thank you
from
so
Tranmere Rovers.
Thank you so much.
When calculating a football club's worth, what value is placed on the lifeline their charity work provides?
you take Michael Gove's comments that football is not essential on one construction, I can understand that comment, but what he doesn't understand, I think, is the extent to which football clubs like Tranmere Rovers are an essential part of their community. With our partners, Wirral Borough Council, they evaluated the worth of what we provided in terms of worth to the community, and an assessment about 2 years ago was about £15 million.
Through the COVID-19 pandemic, it's estimated that value has increased, with over 35,000 meals supplied to the vulnerable, including 250 meals to people in need celebrating Ramadan. Add to that 900 support and welfare phone calls, 1,200 shopping and medication drop-offs, and 101 football shirts donated to schools. In the heart of the community, they've also had to get creative in delivering their social inclusion programmes whilst maintaining social distance.
First, we started off with home visits, so we'd go round to people's houses, they'd sit in the garden when it's been allowed, have a cup of tea, or telephone calls as well. We've also done things like activity packs, so provided sort of workbooks or exercises for people to do that keeps them interested. And the biggest focus we've had is staying positive, so that sort of there's so much negativity and worry for people at the moment, and when they are isolated, our team, what they've tried to do is be really positive.
Are you all right, Tom? Yeah, fine. It's that time of the week again.
One of the things that the club does do well is to get that inclusiveness and get people out. You know, people who are socially isolated at certain times. There's a lot of that around on Merseyside, and that's something that we can do. But that's, of course, has been curtailed because of social distancing. But you know, the guys have been innovative. They've changed what they do. They have worked around that, and you know, I think that we're still making an impact in the community.
You literally beg, stealing and borrowing. So, for example, the food hampers and the loneliness project we've set up, we did it with donations. We've secured funding to continue it till the end of the year, but in reality, that needs to continue for another 12 months. So, literally every day, you're scraping around trying to find where you can get some further funding from, because you can't stop the services. It's probably not an option for people's health, their well-being and their sort of sanity, really.
And with no money coming in through the turnstiles, these community schemes are at risk if clubs are denied financial help.
You can't defy gravity, and if you haven't got the money in the bank, you can't pay the wages. There is a real and present risk that clubs will go out of business. My major concern is that once it's gone, and that's really quite a difficult thing to envisage, because you know, we have a unique pyramid of football in this country, and we need to protect that. Again, just as you talk about the arts and the theatre, and you know, and Theatreland in London as an essential part of what people understand British culture to be, I think the pyramid and the football in this country, which is unique in terms of the depth with which it goes to around and the breadth of it, I think that once you lose that, then you've lost a little bit of the fabric here.
Now that more stringent lockdown measures are again in place on Merseyside, Tranmere have ramped up their efforts, with the impact on those who benefit priceless.
If it wasn't for this virus, I could go around and give every one of you a hug.
Vinny O'Connor, Sky Sports.
Day after day, the club does great work in the local community. Sunday's EFL Trophy Final will be live on Sky Sports, kick-off 3 o'clock. And of course, the club's social media channels will be packed with information and interviews ahead of the game. And during the match, the message boards will be in action. No supporters, of course, on Sunday. Wembley will be just about empty, but across the Wirral and around the world, Tranmere fans will follow the progress of the game. The Super White Army, wherever they are, will be revved up and ready to go. let's hear about Sunday's game from the perspective of opponent Sunderland, who are well in contention to win promotion into the Championship. Mark Donnelly covers the Black Cats for the Sunderland Echo, and he's been talking to Adam Sidorn.
Joining us from the Sunderland Echo is Mark Donnelly. Good afternoon, Mark. You are the Sunderland reporter for the paper, am I right?
Yeah, well, one of two. There's myself and Phil Smith who cover the team kind of home and away. And yeah, we've been in the middle of this cup run, which obviously has taken us to Wembley to meet yourselves. And
a cup that I think Sunderland are fairly new to. I think we're used to seeing Sunderland in the Premier League and the Championship. So I think it's a new venture for yourselves.
Yeah, it's been a competition that obviously, Sunderland, this is their third year in League One, and it's delivered some real kind of highs and lows. The high of getting to Wembley in 2019 and playing Portsmouth, obviously it wasn't the result anyone wanted, but it was a real kind of cathartic day for fans who'd had a really, really tough time over the last kind of decade or so to get that day out at Wembley, the night out before in Trafalgar Square, which anyone who's watched the Netflix documentary, Sunderlnad, I Die, I'll have seen all of that. That was a really good day, even though the result wasn't what anyone wanted. And then last season was just an absolute low. So poor in this competition. Defeat at Scunthorpe was one of the worst days of Phil Parkinson's reign. They lost to Leicester City under 21s. And then this year, a little bit more of a high, obviously getting to Wembley again and hopefully a better result. But yeah, it's a fairly new competition, but one that I think Sunderland are quickly becoming accustomed to because it's delivered some real good memories and some real bad ones as well.
So what's the situation been in terms of the squad? Because I know Tranmere have done a lot of rotation in their squad in this trophy. Have Sunderland been doing the same, or have they been playing the first 11?
It's an interesting one because in the earlier rounds there was a little bit of rotation, and for all there still has been rotation, we did see as the competition went on, and certainly in the semi-finals against Lincoln, Lee Johnson named a very, very strong team. He's been clear all along. Since he came in after the group stage before the first knockout at Oldham. He's been clear that he, wants to win the competition. He wanted to get to Wembley. He got Barnsley to the final of this competition and then left to get the Bristol City job before the final. So he was desperate to get to Wembley and get to the final of this competition. So he's taking it very seriously. At Wembley, we will likely see some changes purely because of the injuries and because there's a number of players cup tied. So Dion Sanderson, who's on loan from Wolves and's been playing pretty regularly since the turn of the year, is cup tied. Carl Winchester, who signed in January from Forest Green, he's also cup tied. And Jake Vokins, who's on loan from Southampton and has kind of been on the periphery of the squad since he came in, he's cup tied as well. So there'll certainly be changes to the squad. And Lee Johnson said on Tuesday night that he'd gone to the under-23 players in the squad and said at the moment, barring any injury recoveries, there was kind of 4 places on the bus to Wembley. So I think there will be some youngsters involved, but I think the starting 11-wise will be a very, very strong team because Lee Johnson's been clear he wants to win this.
It's not the first time that Tranmere and Sunderland have met in cup competition, of course. There was, let's say, an eventful FA Cup tie in 2000, the Tranmere won 1-0. First team coach Andy Parkinson was in the Tranmere team that day, and he's been talking to Rob.
All I remember is I was playing on the far side away from the dugouts, and Stephen Frail came on as a substitute to play in the same position that I was playing in. And he said, "Why are you still on the pitch?" And I said, "What are you doing on the pitch?" And obviously I was the substitute that was supposed to make way, but Clint Hill had been sent off and the game had restarted, and then there was a load of chaos after it, obviously.
So was it a confusion on the pitch for everyone at that time?
Yeah, nobody knew what was going on. Yeah, obviously I know Sunderland weren't happy with what had gone on at the time, but I think it was genuinely just an innocent mistake.
And back then, that was the times where Tranmere were famous for cup runs and a period in time that you were a big part of.
Yeah, unbelievable over that couple of years. 99 really to 2001. We did particularly well. It seemed to be in the cup competitions, FA Cup, League Cup, that we were really strong, especially against the big opponents, you know, at Prenton Park and away from home as well, and got some unbelievable results and had some fantastic players over that period.
And the cup competitions are always spurred on by the fans. The fans are a big part of those cup runs. Unfortunately, they won't be there this time, but you know how much of a difference that could make. Yeah, big shame that the fans won't be there, but you know, it's something that the players have been dealing with all season, so it'll be no different. I actually played at Wembley for Cambridge in 2009. I think it was. There was only like 20,000 fans in there, so it seemed like it was empty anyway. And I think you get that with some of the lower league teams. You know, when there's not many fans in there. Obviously, playing Sunderland, you would think that they would bring a few if fans were allowed. So yeah, I don't think that'll have much bearing on it because the players are used to it. But it's a big shame that our supporters won't be able to make the trip to Wembley. Because they've been a massive factor over the period of time that I've been here as a player and a coach. And just overall, the mood in the camp at the minute, I'm assuming, is really positive. Really buoyant at the moment. Doing well in the league, obviously. We're up there near the top of the league, which is fantastic. And this is nice to get to a cup final. But like I said, we're really focused on trying to win.
Former player, now first team coach, we heard from Andy Parkinson. And ahead of Sunday's game, if you could bottle up the well wishes sent from many other Tranmere players and a current Premier League referee of the day, by the way, it would be high octane stuff. A host of familiar figures have sent their support.
Rovers, as ever, looking to do things the hard way, and it couldn't be any harder than taking on Sunderland. They're going to be well up for it.
Yeah, of course, Sunderland is a big name, no, and you only have to think back to the memories we had. We beat Sunderland 1-0, Clint gets sent off, and that game actually, if you see it back, made a few decent saves. So we have good memories. On paper, being strong doesn't mean you are guaranteed to win the game, because fighting spirits can get you a long way, you know. And as you know, you beat Oxford away, who is in League One. So if you can beat Oxford away from League One, then you can beat Sunderland away, as long as you're all positive and you work to the maximum effort you have and try to play the best game you ever played. Then you have a good chance to get a result against them as well. And football is no guarantee to win or lose, so you have to work hard for it, and hopefully you can get the right result to any team you play. And we showed that in the past, and that's how you have to use it as well, as in your mind, that if you give everything you've got, then there is a chance.
You meet Tranmere at Wembley for the fourth time in 3.8 years. For any club at any level, that is one hell of an achievement.
It's incredible. Obviously, the reasoning for getting there the last couple of times, or the last 3 times, was obviously trying to fight their way back up the ladder. And I was unfortunately a part of the falling off the ladder. So seeing the club come straight back up, and then obviously last year's disappointment with how they ran it and how things were finalised, to achieve something like this, along with the possibility of promotion, is incredible. And obviously Mickey Mellon was a part of it all the last couple of years, and now they've moved on, and I think Keith Hill's doing a great job since he's come in. So to see the club getting back to Wembley, listen, it's been an incredible run, and deservedly there. Beat a top team in the semi-finals to make it. So unfortunately, I won't be there this time. I've been the last 3, so fingers crossed. Fingers crossed things go the same way, and they get the result that all the fans want.
And a difficult time in the semis against Oxford away. They were the third form team in the country, and going to get no tougher than Sunderland in the final to a humongous club. And say it's not in the best form themselves in the league, but nevertheless a horrific draw in the final.
Yeah, well, listen, you got to beat who's in front of you. Oxford's an incredible result. The way they've been playing this season, and I've watched them as well. They play some great football, and at their place, it's always hard to go and play. So for Tranmere to go down there and get the result was incredible. Regardless, whether it was by a goal, whether it was by penalties, whatever, just getting the result was incredible. But yeah, Sunderland in the final. The only thing about that I'll say is written is seeing Maxi playing against the lads again and playing against his hometown club, which is great. I wish, is it confirmed yet? I'm not sure whether the fans will be able to be there or what amount of fans will be able to be there. But if it was still open to the fans, I think that would be some atmosphere with Tranmere and with Sunderland there, because you'd have a full house. And it makes for a good game, to be honest, because Sunderland are, regardless of their league position and their form, are a top club. They've got, like, I know some of the players they've got there. I know three personally, but on paper they have got a top team. But hey, they're no better than Oxford, so there's no reason why Tranmere can't go down there. And they're home away from home. Hopefully they get the home dressing room, make it feel like home, and hopefully they can get the result. If they go down and play the way they have the last couple of times down there, then that's a distinct possibility.
I think they'll fight back, hopefully this year. They really had a bit of form now. The last couple of games, they've been scrappy and still getting the win, which was something we did, and teams do, hopefully, when we get promotion. So hopefully they'll get back up there this year, and it's short-lived, that demotion.
They have bounced back tremendously, Jeff, and now another trip to Wembley and a cup final too for Tranmere to take on Sunderland next week in the Papa John's Trophy final. Yeah,
hopefully, like I say, I watched the semi-final and they were worthy winners, and they're starting to really, I wouldn't say gel as a team, because they were always fighting hard, but they're definitely, there's definitely something around there now. You can see it just watching. There's like a good togetherness, and there's a real fight and hunger among them, and I don't think they need to fear anybody.
I say on paper, though, I say Sunderland are a massive club, but they came to the grounds. They beat Oxford, Peterborough, Leicester under 21s, Man City under 21s. So they've done it the hard way, Jeff, to get there.
I honestly don't think they need to fear them. Sunderland will have to be under the pressure. They're the ones, that should be going there and turning over that old Tranmere. But it's easier said than done. So if I was the players, I'd be getting in there full of confidence and knowing that there's no expectations on them. It's all the pressure will be on Sunderland.
From a fan's point of view, Jeff, obviously they've not been able to go to the games this year, and sadly they can't go to the final. But as a spectacle and the year away from football, what a treat for the fans to end this pandemic pretty much with a cup final, where there's no pressure to promotion. You haven't got to go and win. Just go there, enjoy the day, and play for a trophy.
Yeah, well, obviously any trophy's great, but it's also nice to look back on this period of complete unrest and people not knowing where they're coming or going in their personal lives, and look back with a bit of pride and a bit of joy to see something almost so devastating and a wee bit of light at the end of the tunnel. It may only be football, but what it means to the fans is life or death.
Yeah, I think they're probably the favourites to start off with, Sunderland in the whole tournament before we kicked off with it. But I think both clubs, to be honest with you, it's just a bonus if they win it. I think ideally both clubs would rather not win it and get promoted. I think both teams need promotion this year, Sunderland and Tranmere, to be honest with you. Just to be a nice day out, and fingers crossed we can get the result.
You've been a Tranmere fan for many, many years, but did you go to the previous games when we won this trophy over 30 years ago?
No, I never actually, because I kind of went through a phase of, I wouldn't say not supporting them, but not going. Obviously, with the football took off in probably late 80s, early 90s, so I had to concentrate more on that, to be honest with you. So we focused on that for a few years. But I went to the old Mercantile Credit Classic all them years ago when we ended up doing pretty well down there. And that was the first taste we had. when Muri scored a couple of goals down there. So it was nice. It was nice.
And for the Tranmere fans of today who missed out on that rich period of the club, how important is it for the fans to sit back and think, hang on, we've been to Wembley now. This is going to be the 4th time in just under 4 years. We waited almost 30 years 20 years since the cup final in 2000. We waited 20 years to get back there again. How important is it for those fans to embrace this and really drink it in?
Well, I think they're going to enjoy it. As I say, we don't get that often, but if you look at the bigger picture, all the teams in League One and League Two, and the Conference, when we're in the Conference, there's not many teams get there. There's probably a handful of teams that are going to get to the final. Many teams go over and over again to defend the cup in this Papa John's thing and in the playoff finals. But I think to get there as many times as we have over the last few years, I think it's ideal. It's like as we say, Prenton Park South, isn't it?
More messages of support now ahead of Sunday's final. Messages from some of the key partners and sponsors who give invaluable support to the club.
Best of luck, guys. Everybody in Indonesia will be supporting you in the finals at Wembley. Go Tranmere.
A quick message from everybody here at SR to wish Tranmere Rovers, all of the players and all of the staff, the very best of luck in the Papa John's Trophy against Sunderland at Wembley. We are tremendously proud to be associated with Tranmere and tremendously proud that the club have made 4 finals in 4 years. The only disappointment for all of us, including all of the fans, is that none of us can be present at Wembley on the day. So the very best of luck from us all here at SR, and let's hope we bring home the trophy.
And that is just about it. But time for a quick reminder that extended interviews with all those that have contributed to this preview programme are available on the club's website. Another momentous day in the history of Tranmere Rovers Football Club beckons. It's another trip to Wembley. Although there's no need to check the route, the team bus knows the way to Prenton Park South, and in spirit, for the 4th time in 5 seasons, the Super White Army will be at Wembley Stadium making a noise.
Swinging free kick and a chance here for Kelly. He scored! David Kelly! Tranmere are level against all the odds!
Forward, making the run down the blind side. Here he is on the left-hand side. Puts a cross in. Andy Cook! Tranmere Rovers in front! Andy Cook in the near post! It was a lovely cross from Norwood! Andy Cook bet it with the Thorin! And 4-1, maybe a man up, but they are a goal down at Wembley.
There's another coincidence going to be extra time winner.
Connor Jennings, James Norwood. James Norwood has scored it. James Norwood with a header from close range. Grant Smith couldn't keep hold of the ball, and Tranmere lead by 2 goals to 1.
Now Caprice with the cross, the header!